So, hello everyone. Today we will do objective Indian polity of Laxmikant. All right, and these are the questions. The previous lecture was all about the historical background, and in this lecture we will do the questions of historical backgrounds. All right. So let's move forward. Consider the following statements. First, under the Government of India Act 1919, all right, 1919, the Indian legislature was made more representative and for the first time bicameral. Think on it, all right, and it might be correct. I'm telling you. And second, the Government of India Act of 1935, which was the last act and was one of the lengthiest acts, prescribed the federation taking the province and Indian state as a unit. So it is right. I believe both are right. So its answer is C. Both 1 and 2 are correct. All right. Why they are correct? Because in the Government of India Act of 1919, the Indian legislature was made more representative. All right. And first time bicameralism. And bicameralism can be seen in the Indian government at that time. While the unit system came in Government of India Act of 1935, as it was prescribed that both the provinces as well as the Indian state and the princely states also should be included in that, though the princely state didn't join. Hence, C is correct. Second, which of the following are the principal features of Government of India Act of 1919? Again, 1919. Introduction of diarchy in the executive government of the province. That means the diarchy at the provinces. Second, introduction of separate communal electorate for Muslim. Is it so? I don't believe it. Third, devolution of legislative authority by center to the provinces. It can be. And fourth, expansion and reconstruction of central and provincial legislature. Think on it. So, I believe second one is not communal electorate for Muslim. Rest introduction of diarchy and devolution of authority in the center to the province. 1, 3, and 4 are correct. Second is not correct because it came in Morlem into reform. I think the communal electorate system came later on uh, for separate electorate for Muslims, right? And hence I believe 1, 3, 4 is the answer. D is the answer of this. I have not been marking it out. Wait, let me just mark it up as well. And 1 and 3 both, this one is the answer, and here I believe D is the answer. All right. Now coming on to this third question, consider the following statement: the first Public Service Commission in India was set up in 1926 on the recommendation of Lee Commission on the Superior Civil Service in India. 1926. It was Macaulay Committee, I believe. Macaulay Committee recommended that the Public Service Commission should be made for the civil services. All right. Second, the Government of India Act of 1930 provided for setting up of Public Service Commission for both federal and provincial level. Yeah, this is correct. Second one, is, I believe, second one is correct, and I'm thinking the second one is definitely correct. All right, but I'm not sure about the first one, though, because I haven't heard about the Lee Commission. All right, so I'm not going to tell, but it is said that first Public Service Commission was set up in 1926. It is quite correct. All right, the service commission was the first service commission was made in this 1926 around. Why? Because public service commissions were made. Wait, yes. So Lee Commission, I don't know about Lee Commission, but I can write that in 26 first service commission was made. So both 1 and 2 can be corrected. All right, based on this idea. But I'm not sure about the Lee Commission because I read about the Macaulay Committee and you also read the same. Coming on to the fourth question, which one of the following act provided set up the Board of Control in Britain? BOC. It came in Pitt's India Act, right? And yeah, I think B is the answer. Without even thinking, I'm telling you because Board of Control and Code of Directors came in the Pitt's India Act when William Pitts was the uh, Prime Minister of Britain at that time. All right, Regulating Act was never there. So yeah, fifth. Now we have to match the following and list one of these two given below. Government of India Act 1935, Indian Constitution Act 1909, Indian Government of 1919, and Government of India Act 1858. That means this one is Crown. Government of India, this is again Crown. All of them are Crown, right? Crown rule. It is all about the Crown rule, and we have to set transfer of power from East Indian Company to Britain. This was this. D1 is first. All right, definitely D1 is first, right? D has to be first, no? Power transfer of power from East India Company to the British Crown. I believe yes. D is first, definitely first. So D is going to be the first one. Now, uh, again, the envisioned dominion status of India. It was dominion status came in 1935. Simply, right? Dominion status came in 1925. It is best of my presumptions. Let's move forward. Third one is introduction of provincial autonomy. Provincial autonomy came and the introduction of diarchy in province. So diarchy came, I believe, five. Diarchy came in Government of India of 1919, right? Diarchy came in Government of India Act of 1919, and this 1909, in this 1909, uh, five, yes, introduction of separate electorate, right? This B, sorry, this B is 5. All right, B is 5, and A, provincial economy. It was the latest. Forgive me, I've deleted it out. Provincial autonomy system came uh, in 1935, because after which only the Indian Independence Act came. So provincial autonomy thing will come in 35. All right. So we have done it, and this dominion status of India also came in the uh, 1947 Act, or an Indian Independence Act. Why we haven't chosen it? Because it has not been given here. All right. So let's move forward. Sixth, the partially responsible government in the province was established under one of the following act. Partially responsible government. Responsible government means it is talking about the crown rule, and all of them are crown rules acts. One established under which of the following acts? So which of the following acts was created? As we already know, 1919 reduction of Darki in province. Through Darki, this right, the through Darki, this 1919 thing came. Now, the initial area of recruitment on the merit principle was traced in Macaulay Committee, I believe, right? Because we haven't read anything about through Lee Commission, the Public Service Commissions came, right? Through Lee Commission, but Macaulay Commission, based on merit, they did it. Now, during the British rule in India, the following made under which of the following were known as the devolution rule. The devolution rule. Think on it. Devolution means revolution and devolution. The during the period of British rule in India, which rule made under which of the following were known as the devolution rule? So I believe it was 1919. Again, it was completely changing. Uh, Things were taking places at fast pace, and which one of the following pairs is correctly matched? Think on it. Uh, 1892, Indian Council Act 19, principle of election. 1919 Act 1909, responsible government. No. Uh, 1919, provincial autonomy. 1919, provincial autonomy. It was not. Provincial autonomy came in 1935. Government of India Act, Darjeeling State. Darjeeling State came in 1919. Right? Provincial autonomy came in. See, a provincial autonomy. This provincial autonomy came in 1935, as we have already told. So it is also not correct. So if anyone have to be corrected, then principle of election, it can be done. Why? Because based on election, they have taken law members. No, sorry, the executive members, in the four out of nine people. Now, 10. Notwithstanding the reduction in provincial autonomy, the government of India can retain the retain control of the central government over the provincial in this sphere. Reason: the governor was required to act in his own decision in certain matters of which he was to act without the ministerial advice under the control and direction of the governor general. So this is assertion. This is the reasoning, and yeah, it is quite correct. So I believe A is the answer, right? Now, 11. The federation established by the Act of 1935, residual powers were given to the rest of the powers will be with the Governor General, right? So, Governor General is the answer. Thereafter, the match the following, right? So, here we have All India Federation for Provincials and Princely State. This was in 1935, right? All India Federation of Provincial and Princely States. It was 1919, I believe, right? In 1919, they told, because I haven't see the most recent one is the 1919, most latter one. All right, and no, no, we have five are there, no? Then appointment of Secretary of State of India was done in the initial stage. So Government of India Act, right? This was done in initial stage. So think on it. So we have either B or sorry, either B or D, either B or D. All right. And what is the difference here? We can see 4 and 1. So let's check 4 and 1 D. 1919. Government of India Act of 1919. 4. Think on it. Parliamentary reform. Was that so? 4. Diarchy in province. So it is quite correct. Diarchy of province came in this. Uh, all right. And D. 1. Here it is telling. So in 1919, All India Federation of Provincial and Princely State came in 1919. It came in 1935. So it is not correct. All right. Here 1935 is not given, so this option is eliminated. All right. Because it came in 1935. All right. Again, Indian Council Act of 1961, beginning of representative legislative devolution. So yes, it's quite true. All right. And then we have the Indian Council Act of 1909. 1909. Here it is Morley Minto reform. 1909. So answer is B, definitely. As I got it from the very front only by thinking of this. All right, let's move forward. And the Indian polity, sorry, the Government of India Act of 1919 was based upon. It is not Morley it's Montagu Chelmsford, right? Because after 1909, only Montagu Chelmsford came. So it is good. Under which of the following act the communal electorate system reduced by the British government? It was 1909, right? by the Parliamentary reform. Then, what were the silent features of a Government of India of 1935? 1935. Abolition of Council of India, Diarchy at State, Center, Diarchy at Center, abolition of Diarchy in State, and establishment of Federal Court. Establishment of a Federal Court, it's been given. So, I believe all of them are correct, right? So, I believe this one is the answer. Because evolution of council took place, diarchy at center was followed. Earlier, it was in the state, and abolition of diarchy in the state was taken place. All right, all of them are correct. 16. Now, match the following. We have the features and the act. All right, features and the act. So let's move forward. And federal scheme of government, diarchy in provincial government, communal representation, rigid centralization. So rigid centralization was in the earliest in the company rule. Communal representation came in 1909, right? Parliamento, it is the one. So C, uh, all right. And rigid centralization was in the Indian Council Act of 1861. Neither of them currently I can guess it properly. Though diarchy in provinces came in the Montagu-Chelmsford reform, right? And federal scheme of government came in the Government of India from 1935, right? So rigid centralization came in the 1936. So let's make it out. Remember, rigid centralization came in the feature of 1861. We have to remember it, whatever we can't complete. All right. Now, so hence answer is B. 17th. Who is the following the Finance Minister of India in terms of government during 1946 to 1947? Finance Minister. See, this one I don't completely know. 17, right? Um I'm not sure about the Finance Minister, so I won't answer it. Though we will look at the answers and mark it up. All right. Now, which one of the following acts laid the foundation of British administration in India? British administration in India, not the company. British. Think on it. But the company, the East Indian Company, was under the Britishers only, right? So it was the Regulating Act of 1773, right? Because they haven't even written that 1858. If they could have written 1858, that time some doubt could be made that whether they are talking about the Crown Rule or the Company Rule, right? So it is, I believe, it was a regulating act because nothing of them is matching. 19th. Let's move forward. Provisions and acts. The All right, provisions and act has been given. So let's do this. The designation of Governor General of Bengal as the Governor of India. So it was the Governor of India came in the later on in the Charter Act itself, in the second last Charter Act. All right, so this is the one is this only. This was the second last, and after which it came uh, in 1858, right? 1853, sorry. Then Diarchy introduced in Indian government. Diarchy in the Indian government, not this provincial government. So it came in Government of India Act of 1919, right? Diarchy in the center came in the 1990 by the Montagu Chelmsford. All right. The twin features of All India Federation and Provincial Autonomy means All India Federation. It came later on in Government of India Act 1935. So it is quite understandable. While here only one option is left, but let's read it. Control of the Government of India transfer from East Indian Company to British Crown. So it was 58 itself on the very first it's been given. So answer is C. Now, who are coming for the first law minister of India? I don't know, but I could guess it. Jawaharlal Nehru was the PM. Maulana Kalam Azad, I'm not sure about it. B.R. Ambedkar was first law member. It can be B.R. Ambedkar, though we will look into it. All right. So we have all right. So it can be B.R. Ambedkar, law member, law minister, B.R. Ambedkar. It's a humble guess. Now, with reference to the period of British rule in India, Indian Statutory Commission is popularly known as the Simon Commission because Britishers sent the one such a statutory commission in. It was said to be sent the commission in the 1929, but instead of 1929, it came earlier. It came earlier in the 1927, which led to revolt. All right, and go Simon back, everything. Oh, answers have been given. Very good. Now, during the British rule in India, who was the first Indian to appoint as law member of the? So it was Satyendra Sinha. Simple. It was the first law member who came in the Governor General's Council, executive member. All right, law member. So answer is side C. Correct. Now we have to look after the questions which we didn't know. 20 and we didn't know about the 17. So 17 and 20. Let's look for the answer. 17 and 20. And we have 17C and 20 is C. Both are C. Let's move forward. Let's see the answers. So here C is Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. So I was quite correct, but I had no idea in this. Liaquat, right? Liaquat Ali Khan, he was the finance minister. God damn it. All right. We have to remember this also. Financial minister. Liaquat Ali was the finance minister. So I hope it would be helpful. We have completed the M. Laxmikant polity. All right, not the complete chapter, but we have practiced questions as well from first chapter itself. So I hope it was helpful enough. And thank you for listening. Let me save it. And thank you everyone. And Jai Hind.